first thing I'm gonna do is I gotta sell a beat to somebody. You know what I mean? And that's gonna be the start of my production career in the industry.
Can you take us back to landing that first placement, and who was the artist that catapulted Haas G into the spotlight?
Okay, so we always stayed. Well, I always stayed shopping music. You know, so when I was ready to really shop as a producer, my first stop was, okay, who do I know that I could really get to real quick? You know what I mean? And they're gonna appreciate what I got. So I connected with Busta. So one day, and this is when Chris Lighty was managing Busta, we all met up at Violator, and you know, I just brought the tape, and I brought the tape. I sat down. Busta wasn't even there yet, so me, I forgot his manager at the time. A Blitz was Busta's manager at the time, and Chris Lighty. So, you know, I'm playing the joints for them, and you know, I'm not really. I never really shop beats like that. You know what I'm saying? I just know people and I kick it with them. I kick it with you on the road, this, that, and third. So now I'm up in there shopping and they playing the music, but I don't see the reaction. Like, I don't see the reaction that I want, you know? So Busta's running late. And I'm still waiting and waiting. So it got too late. Like, I was just like, look, if y'all gonna do something, just give me a call. You know where I'm at, blah, blah. So I leave. I break out. And no sooner than 2 days later, Blitz and Chris Lighty's calling me, talking about, yo, we gotta go and we want to record this beat. Send us the track outs and all of that. Come in the studio. Let's track it all out. Let's do what we're gonna do. I'm like, what beat? Y'all ain't even tell me. I left you a tape with like 6, 7 joints on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, then they played it over the phone. And I knew exactly which one it was. So now it's time to go and record, track it all out. And now Busta's in the studio with me, you know, because now it's his session going on. So I got to come in his session and track out the beat with the engineer. And that was the first joint right there. That was called Take It Off. And my first joint, can you imagine? I'm on an album with Janet Jackson, you know what I mean? And it is, the Extension Level event. That was my first sale. And that was a leap of faith. Because prior to making that sale, I had quit my job, I want to say about a week and a half prior to that. I just quit because I was fed up. And I was already ready to start shopping tracks. So and it didn't take long. And that was my first joint. And so that's what really put me in the light. And from there, I just kept going.
You got a lengthy discography. We won't get into all of the artists you produced for, but I want to bring up a few, and you can take me back to how everything came about. Ghostface Killah and Apollo Kids.
You started to break up on me now.
Oh, it did?
Can you hear me? Yeah. I don't hear you no more.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
I don't hear you.
Hey,
right. I can't hear you.
Right. Log off and come back.
You there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
You there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I'm going to go out and come back in.
Right. Just a mild communication problem. Glad we got through an hour of great stories. He'll be back in a second. Appreciate everybody joining me on this Tuesday night. How's everybody doing out there? Appreciate that, son. Allah. Doy 78.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Probably just need to turn the screen back around. Good.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Back in business. Like I was saying earlier, you got a lengthy discography. We'd be here all night if I told them about everybody you produced for, but I'm just going to ask you about a few names, and if you could take me back to how everything came about. Ghostface Killer and Apollo Kids.
Ghostface, Stapleton, New York. We're both we're both from Staten Island. Lived in the same building, you know, so that's just grain. So that's going to be automatic. He's on the third. I'm on the third floor. He's on the first floor. So, you know, stick ball, punch ball, football, baseball, you know what I'm saying? And now rappers. Boom. Of course I'm going to produce for them.
When that album dropped, that was Supreme Clientele, which most would say maybe better than Iron Man. What kind of reaction did you get after you gave him that track, Apollo Kids?
Oh man, that was crazy because that was the record that ushered him back into the street. You know, Ghost was away for a little while, so that was the first record he came out with when he came home. You know what I'm saying? So come on, you know how that made me feel. I'm giving him the first street banger that he's gonna rock out to. Yeah, the reaction was crazy because the beat was monstrous, you know. And then now, like I said, I did Busta first, and then Ghost was the second. But now it's not only Ghost, it's two of the hottest Wu-Tang members. You know what I'm saying? So that
right.
I don't know. Is it getting ready to snow or something? Why my feed starting to break down? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So the second record is Ghostface and Raekwon. So now I got two of the hottest Wu-Tang members on one record. You know what I'm saying? So now that's just my second industry produced record. All right. So now we on the.
What happens next before I jump into the Little Kim situation? What happens next after the Ghostface and Raekwon? Who did you land placement for them?
Right after them, I did a couple of in-betweens, you know, some of the Wu members, you know, Kappa, Inspector Deck, you know, but then it's time to gear up because I need another big record, you know what I mean? And when I say big, I mean another platinum joint, you know what I mean? So, all right, where we going to go next? You know where we're going next. So, you want to ask the question first or should I just go into it?
Let me go ahead and set this one up. As you all know, and as you all have heard, 50 Cent with Little Kim, Magic Stick, such a monstrous record. Can you take us back to how all that came about?
All right, so that came about because we're still shopping. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to see where the next hit is going to come from. And my cousin gives me a call one day. My cousin is Giz, you know. He was DJ. Well, let me go before that. While I was shopping, I ran into Trackmasters. So, you know, Tone Pope, Rich Nice, and all of them. So I knew 50 before he was 50, before he started dropping the mixtapes. So I was up there at Sony with them, and I started giving 50 beats back then. You know what I mean? So, you know, time went by. We was on some mixtapes, you know, Rotten Apple. We got a couple of songs on his mixtapes. So time went by. And then that's when, you know, after his incident, and then he turned into 50 Cent, then he signed the deal with Dre. You know, this was a few years after when I first met him. And my cousin was his DJ. So naturally, my cousin's going to call me and be like, yo, 50's getting ready to work on a new album with Dre. So he said, give me the beats, you know what I mean? And I'll throw him over there. So that was my end to catch back up. So I gave him a tape, and sure enough, another one. Like 3 days later, they're bringing me out to Long Island to drop the tracks. You know what I mean? Drop the stems, and that's how we got Magic Stick. So 50 started it, He wrote the part for Trina originally, Trina from Florida, and that didn't it didn't feel right. So the decision was made to go, since Little Kim's getting ready to come out with a new album, let's get Little Kim on it. So this way she could ride the 50 wave, because 50 was hot. So now she's getting ready to come out. So now here you go. I got another banging single with two of the hottest artists from New York on it at one time. You know what I'm saying? So now you got 50 and Kim on it, and that record just skyrocketed. Now, the only regret, not even regret, the only dislike I had about record was that, due to the fact of being egotistical and nobody knowing how to look at business the way it should be looked at the time, we didn't have a video for the record. The record blew up generically on its own. You know what I'm saying? That was the type of record that it was hands down. Now imagine they had a video for the record. You know, that would have it would have catapulted even further.
Will you consider that track your greatest achievement so far as production goes?
It got me paid the most money. I would say that. I will say it's my greatest. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Well, yeah, I probably would say that was the biggest one I ever had thus far. You know, with all the others, like, just, a little bit behind it. But all quality work. Everything I've done, has been quality work. I don't downplay any one song for the other. I think each one of them hold their own lane. Like Ghostface's joint, to me, is like a masterpiece. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's a whole different kind of record. I think Ghost for the Street was, I think 50 and Little Kim, Buster, those were a little bit more commercial. Take It Off was running through spring break. You know what I mean? What was it, 94, 95? Spring break was just all Take It Off. Every show at beach. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, each one of them held its own. I could say that much. But yes, I got paid the most off of Magic Stick. And still to this day, you know what I'm saying? So it's still working for me. They're all still working for me. That's you artists out there, remember, learn about publishing. That'll save your life many a times. But I don't think my greatest achievement has yet been seen. I think there's a lot more to go. I'm sure there's a lot more to go. And with the projects that I'm working on now and the things that I got, in store that's about to happen, I think that's going to be, it'll show itself. It'll become obvious to everybody.
Before we get out of here and you tell us about those projects, can you tell us what exactly is Audiodrome?
You keep going in and out on me. I hate that.
Can you hear me?
And I got my Wi-Fi on.
It's all good. We got through the bulk of it. Can you hear me? Appreciate everybody hanging in there. You know how Instagram can get sometimes. He'll be back in just a moment. Here we go.
We was doing good for the first part.
We was. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said we was doing good for a good while.
Yeah, exactly. They say they can still hear us both, but I guess you can't hear me at times. But can you tell us what Audiodrome is?
Okay, so once you've produce a few records, and you're getting up there not only in maturity, but in thirst and hunger for something different. So I don't want to be here all day long just handing out tracks to artists. You know what I'm saying? That's not my goal. The goal is to become an executive. So in order to become an executive producer, you have to put some projects together. You have to show what you're doing, and you know how to piece together a piece of work. Audiodrome is the compilation album that I put together, and that's supposed to serve as my masterpiece. Various different artists, older, younger, new school, older school, and all on top of Phantom of the Beat beats, tracks. So we range from reggae to R&B to hip hop, a couple of the producers in my camp, team, you know what I'm saying? And this is all coming from the Phantom of the Beat squad. So we put together Audiodrome, to show and prove to the industry, all right, look, I think, they deserve the credits for being executives now. And that's where I want to be at. I want to be an executive producer. I don't necessarily have to be hands-on on every beat anymore. I want to, put a team together and, get some good budgets and find some of the dopest, newest artists and start, just putting them out there, developing them and getting them ready, and just actually, puppeteer the situation. Allow everybody to do what they want to do freely. But, with the experience that I have, I should be able to, line everybody up the right way, and eat off of it like everybody else is eating off of this business.
No doubt. Before we get out of here, can you tell us what you're currently working on and what we can be on the lookout for?
We're going to have to start learning sign language.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear nothing you saying. Why does it keep dropping?